Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. It is the month of love and Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so I thought it would be very appropriate to create some Valentine's Day inspired looks. So today I have Reno in my seat today and I created almost like a double liner kind of look. I wanted to use a lot of pink tones and I thought it would be appropriate to feature the Patrick Ta Major Dimension number 2 palette. Mine's been kind of used, but it features such nice like pink berry toned colors. When I look at this palette, it just screams Valentine's Day to me, so I thought this would be such a great opportunity to use and play around with this palette. It has 2 cream shades, 5 shimmer shades and 5 matte shades. It's just so versatile and I feel like you can create almost any kind of look you're after. So yeah, if you wanted to see how I created this stunning look on the beautiful Reno, then just keep on watching.
Okay, so we're going to start off with some skincare. I'm going in with the GoPure Active's 10% Niacinamide Booster, and I'm just applying this all over her face and bringing it down to her neck. I love using this serum before makeup application. It works well for all skin types and it just helps create a very hydrated base for the skin. Yeah, I've just been using this product a lot recently and it's become a big staple in my makeup kit. I'm now just going to use an eye cream. This is the Fleur&Bees Ice Baby Anti-Aging Eye Cream, and I'm just applying this underneath her eyes and bringing the leftovers to her eyelid. I've only recently started to realize that an eye cream is very pertinent in a skincare routine. You don't want to just use normal face cream because the skin on your eyes are a lot more delicate than this entire skin on your face, if that makes sense, and the products in eye creams are dedicated to that particular area. So yeah, I've been trying this product out and I really do like it. And then for the rest of the face, I'm going into the Body Shop Edelweiss Smoothing Day Cream. I hope I said that right. I'm just applying this all over her face and bringing it down to her neck. This product is a newer product to me and I've only just used it a few times before using it on her. And I am actually quite happy with how this feels on my face. I feel like personally I hate creams that weigh my skin down or feel overly tacky, and this doesn't really do that. A little tip: put your skincare in the fridge the night before you plan to use it, or at least even like an hour before you plan to use it, and your skin will love you. It will wake you up, it will just give your skin that little bit of energy that it needs, and it's also very cooling, so if you're in hot seasons, this is a great tip to do. So as you can probably tell, Reno is blessed with some of the most thickest and fullest brows ever. I love them so much because you just don't have to do too much to it. So I'm just using a clean spoolie and just combing through her brows and kind of just taming it all in place before going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. And I'm just using this to fill in any sparse spots in her eyebrows, as well as just creating some brow-like stroke. I'm now just using the Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the shade Light 18 just to kind of clean up underneath her brows, and I'm also just going to bring that concealer onto her lid just to kind of use as an eye base for this look, create just a bit of a clear canvas to work with. And then yeah, I'll be setting that down with a translucent setting powder. Okay, so we're finally going to be using the highlight of this video. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Volume 2 palette. Now I hope I'm reading the name of these colors in the right order, but I'm going into the shade Heartache, which is the darkest matte shade in this palette, and I'm just using a bullet brush to just precisely add that to the outer corner of her lash line and just slightly wing it out. I'm then going in with a fluffier brush, and I'm going to use the shade Passion, which is the second last darkest shade in this palette, and I'm just going to use that to blend out that first shade we used. As you can see, I'm also just going back and forth from that bullet brush to the fluffy brush and just kind of adding more color and blending it out until I reach a desired pigmentation, I guess. Now I just wanted to try something out, which, spoiler alert, ended up just being completely useless, so I wouldn't say this step is necessary to achieve the look that I created, but I essentially just went in with the darkest cream shade Unfaithful, I think, and I just used an angled liner brush and applied it very close to her lash line. I just thought that this would help allow the dark shadows to grip onto the eyeliner, and then it can be this nice smoky look, but then I just found that it wasn't dark enough for what I had in my mind. So yeah. So now I'm going into the shade Adore. It's like this champagne-y kind of pearlized color, and I'm just applying this to the entirety of her eyelid just with a flat synthetic brush, and I'm just kind of trying to evenly distribute and build up the intensity of that shade. Now this is what I mean when I say that brown eyeliner step was very unnecessary, because I ended up just blending it out. But yeah, I end up just adding a bit more of the shade Heartache and just added that to the outer corners and kind of just blended that in with the shimmer and make it a bit more cohesive with each other. So now I'm going in with the Inglot Gel liner in the shade number 77. It's just a black gel liner. This is one of my favorite gel liners to use on clients. It's a must-have in my kit because it's smudge proof and budge proof. It's waterproof. It lasts all night. I literally can't do wrong with this product at all. But yeah, I'm just applying this with an angled eyeliner brush. I'm doing little tiny strokes along her lash line before going in with a small flat shader brush to just smudge out the liner while it's still wet, just because I want that smoky liner effect rather than a very clean structured liner. I want it a bit more smokier, but yeah. So I just went in with some micellar water on a cotton pad and just cleaned up any fallout underneath her eyes as well as underneath her wing liner. I just wanted to sharpen it up a little bit. And then I went in with the Milk Makeup HydroGrip primer and I just applied that all over her face. I love this primer because I feel like it makes makeup a bit more long lasting. I find that this helps makeup not sink into any fine lines or anything like that. Yeah, it really does grip onto your foundation, so it lives up to its name. So now I'm just going in with the Makiage Woke Up Like This foundation in the shade 130, and I'm just applying this section by section all over her face with a flat shader brush before going in with a dense buffing brush, something similar to what I'm using in this video. I ended up wanting to do a bit of spot concealing, so I just got a bit of the concealer that I'm going to use on her face to kind of just apply that to just any breakouts that I see on her face or discoloration, and I'm just going to let that sit there while I apply the rest of the foundation.
in with the TooFaced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Natural Beige. And I'm just going to start off by applying that underneath her eyes. I'm also just using that to clean up underneath her wing liner, just to make it a little bit more sharp, clean and precise underneath. I'm just going to let that sit underneath her eyes while I apply some to the T-zone area, which is the center of her forehead, down the bridge of the nose and on her chin. And then once that's all applied, I start off by blending out the T-zone area before going to the under eyes. For cream contour, I'm going to use the Juvias Place Shade Sticks in the shade Namibia, and I'm just going to apply the product to the back of my hand to kind of just warm up that product. And then I will pick up the product that's on the back of my hand with a brush that's a bit more circular and dense, and I'm just going to place the product onto her cheekbones, her temple, and bring whatever's remaining down her jaw. Now, I am going little by little. I always say it's always better to build up the product till you reach your desired consistency rather than adding too much and then regretting how heavy or intense it looks. So yeah, you can kind of see me taking my time to build up the intensity of this product. I'm then just doing a final blend of that cream contour using a beauty blender and just kind of making that look a lot more seamless on the skin. To set it all in place, I'm going in with the Colourpop No Filter setting powder, the translucent one. I'm just going to apply a thin layer just to all the areas I applied concealer. Now, this is the first time I'm doing this technique. I've been seeing it everywhere on TikTok and I'm so late to the game, but I wanted to try it out. So this video was actually my first time doing this technique of using a powder puff, particularly the triangular powder puffs, to apply setting powder underneath your eyes to bake. And I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but for now, I picked up some of the product onto the powder puff, and what I did was I tapped a bit of that product off on the back of my hand, and then whatever's remaining on that powder puff, I applied it underneath her eyes, and I'm just going to leave that product there to bake. I also used whatever's left on that powder puff to clean up underneath her bronzer, just because I like everything looking sharp and snatched. I'm also going to set the cream contour in place by using the Australis Sweet Life Chocolate Scented Bronzer in the shade Semi-Sweet. For blush, I'm using the Juvias Place blush in the shade Serafina. You guys have seen me use this blush so many times. It's honestly such a beautiful blush for brown skin tones. I love it and I'm always reaching for it. It just goes to show how versatile this blush is on so many different skin tones. Moving back to the eyes, I'm going in with the Inglot Gel liner in the shade number 77, and I'm just going to apply that to her waterline. This is where I want to start creating that second liner on the lower lash. So I start off by getting my angled brush and kind of just draw a thin line very parallel to the top wing, and then I'm just using that shade of brush to just smoke it downwards. I'm going to go into the shade Heartache from that Patrick Tar palette, and just with a small pencil brush I am going to further blend out that black on the lower lash line. then for a final blend, I'm getting a more, I guess, fluffier, bigger pencil brush, and I'm going into the shade Passion to just further blend that out so that it's creating a nice gradient. I also wanted to add a bit of shimmer to the lower lash, so I went in with the shade Adore and just put it on the inner parts of the lower lash, so not bringing it too far out. Okay, so I'm literally just picking up the shader brush that I applied the foundation or concealer on the face, and I'm just using whatever's left on the brush to clean up in between the liner. I'm then just going to coat her lashes with some mascara. This is the Chella Good Drama Mascara in the shade Black, and I'm just applying an even coat to the top and bottom. The entire face down, I'm going in with the Tarte Maracuja Miracle Mist. It has a continuous setting spray, which I love. It doesn't catch anyone by surprise, and the mist is so fine. The false lashes of choice for this look were the Ardell Demi Wispies. These are just such a go-to style. I wanted something that would impact the look in a nice, elegant way without hiding or taking away from the eyeshadows on the eyes, and these lashes were perfect for that. So yeah, just applied one of those on each lash. While the glue on the second lash is drying, I'm just going to use this time to just wipe away any of the setting powder that was left on the face to bake. Okay, we are approaching the end, guys. I'm using the Makeup by Mario Soft Glow Highlighter in the shade Golden just to highlight the high points of her face. So that's the tops of the cheekbones, the tip of the nose and the bridge, and her inner corners. As I was about to highlight her nose, I realized I didn't do any nose contour, so I just got a little brush with the tiniest bit of the bronzer, and I just applied a bit of that to the edges of her nose. And then once that was applied, I went over it with the highlight just to kind of blend it and melt it all together. I also just wanted to add some eyeliner to her inner corners just to create that very Arabic sharp inner corner look. I don't know, I just feel like doing that just completed this eye look. I'm also just going over the lash line with the gel liner just to kind of cover any excess glue that didn't dry up clear. So now we are at the final section of this look, and it is lips. This one was actually a bit of a interesting process for me, and you'll soon see why. But essentially I started off by going in with the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF3, and I lined her entire lips with this shade, and I also kind of just added some of that to the outer parts of her lips without bringing it too far in.
the Coloured Rain liquid lipstick in the shade Cappuccino, and I applied that to the rest of this lip. This lip was looking a little dark, so I thought adding a gloss would hopefully lighten it up. So I went in with the BH Cosmetics and Doja Cat collaboration clear plumping lip gloss, and I just applied that to her lip. And then after observing and staring at it for a bit, I ended up deciding that I was not happy with how this lip looked with this eye look, so I removed majority of that lip. And as you can see, I kind of mostly removed the inner parts of the lip and I left the lip liner as it is, and I just added the Makeup by Mario lipstick in the shade Sierra to the inner part and blended it with that existing lip liner, and I found that I really liked how that looked so much more. I also just added the tiniest bit of that clear plumping lip gloss just to kind of blend it all together, but not too much to change the color of that lip combination. And that is it, you guys. I honestly loved how this look turned out. Feel free to let me know what you guys think about this look in the comment section down below. If you did love this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Happy Valentine's Day!